Hey guys, this is Freddy from Team Illuminati. This is going to be a quick deck profile on my winning list for Set Champs Week 1. Um, if you know who I am, you're pretty confident that this is going to be an Amber Steel deck profile. So we'll try to keep this short and sweet. We'll go over the deck, card counts, and then at the end we'll just do a quick little review of the matchups I had that day. And uh, yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's get started. So in the one drop slot, no surprise here, we have 4 copies of Cinderella Ballroom Sensation. She's your one cost inkable singer 3 who sings all of your 3 songs or less. And she's your ideal opening turn 1 play. You never hate to see her. If I could run more copies of her, I probably would. Um, yeah, so nothing too crazy there. So Ariel. Next we have 2 copies of Daisy Duck, Donald's Date. So I was at 4 for a while. We dropped her down to 2 to make room for some other cards you'll see later in the list. Um, she's great body, 1/4 stat line, quest for 2. Um, when she quests, opponent reveals the top card of her deck, his or her deck, and if it's a character, they could keep it. Otherwise, it goes on the bottom. You don't really care about giving your opponent extra cards sometimes, because the whole point of the list you'll see is to drop all your threats and wheel away your opponent's hand. So if you give him an extra few cards, it's not the end of the world. But we went on a lower count to make room for some other uninkable cards and to test another card in particular just to see how it works out. So we had to make some room somewhere. Unfortunately, Daisy got the cut down to 2. Last one drop, we have Robin Hood. So this list is a shift Hood list, and the one drop Robin Hood is a necessary evil. I wish there was a better one drop Robin Hood that was like a 1/3 stat line. But this is what we got to work with, and if you see it, awesome. Usually when you land up inking it, you draw the big Robin Hood of the turn later. That seems to be my luck. Um, he, you never really mind seeing him after a wheel because you're probably just dumping your hand anyway. But turn 1 usually don't play him unless you have to. I try to drop him on 2 with another one drop, just to try to bait out some early removal if there is some, if I do have the large um, big hood in hand. But yeah, like I said, necessary evil, got to run 4. Um, and yeah, that's it. That is all your one cost characters. Uh, for your 2 cost characters, you got my favorite card from the new set, Troubadour. He is Ursula's replacement. 1/3 stat line, resist 1, singer 4, sings all your 3 cost songs or higher. That resist 1 really comes into play a lot. It makes math for your opponent hard, even when he is exerted. Can't get outed by any 3 attacking character. They'll usually need to swing 2 things into it or waste some sort of removal like a Zeus to try to out it while it's standing. Um, I know you lose a little bit Rapunzel value with the resist 1 going on, but in the long run, Troubadour stands out to me because you in the mirror match, if you're on the draw and they go turn 1 Cindy, turn 2 Ursula, and you play your Troubadour turn 2, if they don't have Zeus and all they have is 2 Storms and not enough to strength him down, then unlike Ursula that can get 2 tapped by 2 Storm Rageons, uh, Troubadour can't. He'll live, he'll survive, and he'll be there to sing your song the following turn. So, in my opinion, I think Troubadour is better than Ursula, but I know people like to use Ursula to get that Rapunzel value where they can. But I go with the turtle. Next, he's been in the deck for a very long time. We got 4 copies of Mr. Smee, Bumbling Mate. Quest for 2, takes a ping at the end of turn if there's no captain on field. He's just a great turn 2 play. He had 3/3 stat line. He trades with pretty much anything that tries to trade into him. Quest for 2 doesn't get outed by Baby Sisu easily, doesn't get outed by Big Sisu easily, sets up Rapunzel plays later if they can't out it before he has 2 ping on it. Um, Great card, not much more to say about him. He'll be in the deck until he gets rotated out. Next, we're going to go into our 3-cost characters. The star of the show. The deck revolves around her. Ariel, spectacular singer. 3-cost, 5 singer, 2/3 stat line. Scry the top 4 cards of your deck, find a song, or like she usually does to me, scry 4, send them to the bottom. Um, she could be your best friend, she could be your worst friend. Sings all the songs in the deck. There's nothing higher than 5. Um, Easy bait for brawl if you have another 5-cost singer in hand, or you're trying to protect something else to try to close out the game. Usually when Ariel drops, everyone's first thing is they gotta out the mermaid, and they're not wrong. Because if she gets to sing Whole New World or any of the other songs in the deck, she gets a lot of value out of her. But yeah, we'll see if she gets reprinted in set 9. Next, we got 2 more copies of Gaston. 3-cost. He's a 5 singer, 3/3 stat line. Does Ariel's singing job when you don't have her, or what I like to do is I set up Gaston on 3, play Ariel on 4, hopefully find a song, and then immediately sing with Gaston, especially into matchups like anything red, where they have a brawl, you set the Gaston first, then play the Ariel. Also into things like discard, anything green. On turn 2, a lot of green players will still play that Ursula, check to see if you have a song. Hopefully you don't have any in your hand. You set the Gaston, Ariel on 4, find the song, immediately sing with Gaston, and you're right back in the game. Um, he's a great character. Also trades well. Anything that tries to go into him usually trades out. Um, Wish I could put more copies in there, but you kind of don't need more than 2, in my opinion, at the moment. Next, we got Pete, games referee. This card will save you. He will lock your opponent out. It'll lock games. No actions when he comes down. 3/3 stat line. Can sing all your 3-cost songs or lower. Great in the mirror. Great into red blue. Literally great into. I don't think he has a bad matchup. He's great into pretty much anything you're playing. Playing him on 3 never hurts. You want to try to save him because well-timed Pete's at the right time, like to protect yourself from a be prepared, or in the mirror match, prevent the whole new world when you don't want your opponent to whole new world your hand is big, or protect your aerial that came down. You land up playing the Pete battles, and the first person to run out of Pete usually loses that one. But great card. Like I said, he can lock games up for you, and yeah, would definitely run more if we were able to. Next, we got Lawrence. We trimmed him down to 3. 3 costs, 4/4 body while he has no damage on him. Quest for 2. Just helps you in that red-blue matchup. Really start pushing to close the game out quicker. Great setting up for Rapunzel. Usually trades into pretty much anything. And so that you can play that Rapunzel either that turn, hopefully, or the next turn if he survives. Yeah, he's just overall great. Can't see a world where he gets cut down any further than 3. Next, the surprise of the deck, Benja. 3 cost, 2/3 body, quest for 2. This card saved the day for week 1. I played a lot of red blue. The last three matches of the tournament was red blue. um, I landed up playing my round 4, 5, and 6, all red blue items, and I packed him because I didn't want to auto lose to red blue items drawing Exodia, and they get a million cards, workshops, and then off the workshops, and then they just one turn drop Tamatoa, and get game like that. I didn't want that to happen. Very clutch to take out opponents' workshops, hit coils at key times when you're trying to set a board up. Where if you notice that they ink some coils, and you know that maybe there's only one or two left in the deck, if you can hit the coil at the right time, set a board, and they don't have another one to recover, you kind of disrupt their big Sisu board wipe, which is great. And then, like I said, hitting that workshop before they can get extreme value out of it really hinders them. It puts them behind. They took a turn off to play a workshop. Um, and if you hit this at on 3, if they played it on 3, your turn 3, you play Benja, hit the workshop. Like that's just huge value for you, and he creates the board presence for you to keep questing along to end that game quicker. Sure, he does die to Sisu, but if he comes in, hits a workshop, hits a coil, um, hits a Vitalosphere, anything that you need to get rid of to do what you want to do, that's more than enough for me. You could have played Find 'em, Flatten 'em, but and get rid of all the items, but by that point, to me, hitting the item earlier and just taking out the one that you need to take out is more valuable than board wiping all of their items at once later in the game. So he came in extremely clutch and won me all of my red blue item matches. Um, in the 4 slot, we got 4 copies of Rapunzel, your secondary draw engine, sometimes your primary. Uh, 1/5 stat line, quest for 2, heal up to 3 damage, draw as many cards as you can heal for, up to 3. Sings all your songs 4 or lower. Great card. Like I said, secondary draw engine, your primary's whole new world. But not a lot of people fall for Rapunzel traps anymore. You really got to force your opponent into them now. She's something that you don't want to hold too long because sometimes just blind playing her, not getting any value off the heel is better to keep the pressure on. And at the end of the day, like I said, she can sing all your 3 cost songs, all your 4 cost songs, and just apply another body to the board to keep pressure on. If you need to ink her, don't be afraid to, because I think we're all at the point where everyone knows the Rapunzel's coming. Sometimes you can prevent it, sometimes you can't. You really got to put your opponent in a spot where they have to give you the value for her, for you to be able to use it that way. But like I said, blind playing it or inking it is never a bad thing. Next, we have 1 copy of Naveen. So this is one of Daisy's replacements. We're trying him out again. He's the emergency button for when your hand gets a little too cloggy and you don't have enough ink to hardcast Whole New World. Your aerial just got brawled. You can't sing it. He comes down on 4. Make sure you can still um, get that Whole New World off. He's uninkable, which is why we cut a Daisy. Um, Quest for 2, Singer 6, although there is no 6 cost songs in the deck, but he does have the ability. And he also gets around things like the Space Pirate Pete that Green Steel runs, because when he comes into play, he's not exerting to play the song. It's his effect to play the song when he comes in, so gets around that. Gets around the large Ursula that does the more or less the same effect as the Pete, where you can't exert to sing. Other characters can't exert to sing songs, so Naveen gets around that. Um, I could see him going to 2, but honestly, if I don't want to see him too early. I'd rather see him on the second go around, not the first. If you see him too much, he can get a little cloggy. So 1 copy was fine. I could see him in the list at 2, 1, not in the list. Uh, like I said, you don't want to see him too much, but he does really change the game when you can get him down, especially in the mirror. He could do a lot of damage. Um, great card. Um, I personally wouldn't run more than two, just to not clog your hand, because that could be any other one drop or something that you can play alongside something else. But not bad. Next, we have our 5 cost characters. We're only running 4. Robin Hood, Champion of Sherwood. He's your shiftable hood from the 1 drop. Um, 3/6 body, quest for 2. When he challenges a character and banishes them, you gain 2 lore. And when he's banished in a challenge, draw a card. So he replaces himself when he um, dies in a challenge, and keeps the pressure on for lore gain while um, maintaining board. Great card. I prefer him over Queen. I think he does better in mirrors. I know that everyone is, well, a lot of people are on the Queen shift line lately, but I've always been a big Robin Hood fan, and I think he just works better. You don't always have to play for the shift. Sometimes playing him on 5 is good enough. He's great in those aggro matches to keep you in the game, and excellent Rapunzel target. Um, Last character in the deck, we got 1 copy of Aerial Sonic Warrior. This was another cut for Daisy. It's just something I wanted to try. Um, she shifts for 4, 3/8 body, quest for 2, and whenever you play a song, you can pay 2 ink to deal 3 damage to another character. So super control, can really start clearing boards. Basically makes all your storms turn into Zeus's if you need, or you can whittle down or uh, play Storm, hit a character that banish that, and there's another character that has 3 defense or less, and you tap 2, banish that. So you can really bring a board state back in your favor. If Medusa starts coming back in large amounts, you kind of want to cut her because by the time you get value out of her, Medusa just takes her out for free, and it feels real bad, which is why I never really played her before. But there's not too much heavy Medusa counts running around, so she has some viability. So that does it for the characters. Next, we got the song package. There's nothing too crazy, pretty standard after this. We have 2 copies of World's Greatest Criminal Mind. 3 cost inkable, banish chosen character with 5 attack or more. You save this for your large Tamatoas, sharks, Mauis, Maleficent dragons, Sisus, anything you need to out when you don't have Zeus. If they got 5 attack or more, you take them out. Also great in the mirror for Cinderella Stouthearted. You know that resist 2 can be really hard for you to get around, but this one shot takes them out. So great card. I had it at 3, cut it down to 2, but 2 seems to be enough. Next, we have 4 copies of Let the Storm Rage on. 3 cost, uninkable song, deal 2 damage, draw a card. It's what you want to see alongside your opening turn 1 Cindy. Gives you that extra card to keep on pushing through. Take out a character. Um, Sing it on yourself with any of your singers to set up a Rapunzel to keep your draws going. Great card. Um, yeah, pretty standard. Just 4, nothing crazy. Next, 4 copies of Strength of a Raging Fire. This card is as good as you can make it be. Does 1 damage for as many characters as you have on field. 3 cost inkable. Um, yeah, huge powerhouse song, can really take down large targets if you have the board to do it. And if you can't, inkable, you just keep on moving on with your day. Great card though. My favorite song in the 4 slot is Along Came Zeus. Deals 5 damage to any target. This takes care of any evasives that you can't normally out. You can hit locations with it. Um, Take out sharks, sisus, really anything that is a problem, you just hit it with a Zeus and keep on moving. It's my favorite song. Gonna be sad to see it go. Hopefully it gets reprinted, but we'll see. And last card, no surprise. The whole point of the Amber Steel deck, we're playing 4 copies of A Whole New World. You live or die by this. Each player discards their hand, draw 7. Um, the game plan is dump your hand, sing A Whole New World, get another one, dump your hand again, do it again. Always keep your opponent on a new hand. Uh, Try to get rid of their game plan as much as you can. Put them on their toes. Really have to think their ways out. And at the same time, you're just dropping a ton of targets to quest for game. You have a lot of low cost characters. You can get a lot of value out of this card, and you can really disrupt your opponent, hitting it at the right time. You got to know when to do it though, because you don't want to play into your opponent knowing you have it. If you can hold it and starve them for cards and keep pushing for game, do so. You don't always have to pull the trigger, but usually the rule of thumb is if you have it, let it rip. As for the matchups this week, round 1 was yellow-blue aggro on the play, 2-0. Aggro decks really aren't too much of a problem for this type of deck. Uh, you do really well into them. The green-yellow tramp deck is a little bit harder because all the bodies are like 1/4s or 0/4s, but any other aggro you're happy to see because you have all the songs to clear the board and do what you want to do. Round 2 was red purple, evasive. That was my boy Eddie. Me and him 1-1. Had to take a draw there. Hit me and his games always go way too long. We whittled each other down to 3, 4 cards in the deck, and an hour. You can't do 3 games of that in an hour. Round 3 was red steel. My boy Christian. He's got a really cool red steel deck. He hit me with some wild combos. Mushu almost won him a couple. The 2 games that we played, I got a 2-0. You try to go sideways, and then he drops Mushu. That thing gives resist 2, collects 2 lore while he's challenging and clearing the board. Really, really scary stuff. Round 4 was red blue items. Like I said, Benja and Pete were my best friends there. Benja hitting workshops when I needed to, taking out coils to make my other characters more sticky. Really came in clutch. Got that on the draw 2-1. Then round 5 is the top 4 scenario. It's a rematch from round 4. This time I'm on the play. Still went 3 games. Got it 2-1. The games that I won, I blew him out. The game he won blew me out. Game 3 super tight, but well-timed Benjas and Pete's to lock the game up. Uh, really, really helped lock that in. Round 6, final game against my boy Nazif, also on red blue items. Different build than my round 4 and 5 opponent. Got Nazif 2-0. His hands were a little too clunky, and I hit exactly what I needed to wrap that up fairly quick. So overall for the day, I went 5-0 and 1. Game record was 11 and 3. Amber Steel, favorite deck. Gonna keep running it until I can't run it anymore. We'll see what happens during rotation. But give it a shot if you got a lot of red blue items running around in your local meta. Try Benja. He'll really help you out. But that's it for today. And that was week 1 set champion Amber Steel deck for Illuminati. Catch you next time.